Hello, everybody. It's Jim Lazkowski, Directors Club podcast here with a weird special bonus episode. Why am I doing this half-hour excursion into a film called Bloodbeat? Well, first of all, 2025 was a weird year. And my cat here, Duchess, agrees. She's hopped up on the computer desk and, is just very animated. But also excited because, I did this crazy weird... I felt inspired over the weekend to do this deep dive rabbit hole into a film that I discovered a couple years ago and, recently showed it to Sharon, got the Blu-ray courtesy of friend and podcaster Bill Ackerman, who is killing it with new episodes of supporting characters. So a lot of elements just converged, and I was able to record like these separate excerpts of other people that I kind of assigned to watch this movie. This episode is similar to like the Ross McElwee episode, where I try my best to kind of like emulate the experience of watching a Ross McElwee film. In this case, I tried to emulate the experience of what it's like to watch Bloodbeat. So you're going to just like hear weird synth stuff from time to time, and maybe things won't make sense. You'll hear excerpts from other podcasts, even the director himself at one point talking about like what happened after the movie was made. He apparently was working for Macintosh in the 80s. There's just like, I don't know, it's kind of a experimental podcast if you want to think of it that way. And I'm really just excited to share it. But also I don't know if you pretty much just like the format of Directors Club, then you might kind of go, I don't know about this one, Jim. It's kind of strange. But so is Bloodbeat, and it's a very special movie. It's a one-off director who did one and done, and just, you'll hear different people talk about it. You'll hear Matt Greene, a film professor, and Jesse Oliver, a librarian. A couple of people that I talked with randomly, and I recently guested on another podcast called Dr. Game Show. It was just this kind of a hodgepodge weekend that sort of like led to me doing this experiment, and I'm just going to let it go. And I want to thank you all this year for the inspiration and the support, and certainly this transition over from Substack to Ghost is still a little wacky, so hopefully all the episodes end up in the feed eventually. It's kind of strange how I'm trying to do a lot at once here at the end of the year in anticipation for another very busy, productive, and hopefully creative year for Directors Club and my other projects. So it's just an exciting time for being a librarian, musician, podcaster, nerd like me. And this is kind of just, an indication of my sense of humor and my playfulness and my enjoyment in putting together a podcast, and also just, doing some extra editing and doing some weird things with voices and my voice, and there's robot voices. There's just a lot going on. So hopefully you don't find it annoying. Hopefully you find it endearing. Even if you haven't seen Bloodbeat, it's okay. We guide you through Bloodbeat, essentially. It is kind of like a half-hour-long commentary track with just a lot of different voices and people, and certainly a couple of YouTube videos of people talking about it. It's just, again, here it is. I'm not going to say any more. Happy holidays, Happy New Year to all. I can't wait to share with you the year-end favorites episode with Bill and Patrick that we do. It's going to be very interesting, and I'm excited to share that soon than later. So visit jimlazkowski.net. Enjoy this bonus episode on the one, the only Bloodbeat, available through Vinegar Syndrome.
A ghost, a devil, a poltergeist. Call it what you will. paralyzed with fear as it kills and mutilates anyone in its path. Possessed, tormented by a psychic powers, bloodbeat, a horrifying shade with inexplicable lengths and evil presence seeking revenge, spilling blood, spreading terror. Bloodbeat.
Oh, I know that you're very bright, and you're very talented, and you're very full of visions.
Jim here. And today's subject is, well, I don't quite know if I'm thrilled or just completely befuddled by this one, but we're doing Bloodbeat. And if you've never heard of it, this is one of those films I keep circling back to just because it refuses to fit any box. I mean, a horror movie? Sure, a slasher maybe, but there's this whole psychic angle and, oh, did I mention there's a glowing samurai ghost haunting the woods of Wisconsin at Christmas? Yeah. How are we supposed to summarize that? You ever have a movie experience where you get about 15 minutes in and just start questioning your own grip on reality? Perhaps that edible is working too well? That's where I was with this thing. So, we're talking about a holiday slasher of sorts. But it's a supernatural fever dream featuring psychic energies, killer samurai armor, and a Christmas hell in rural Wisconsin.
Oh, Jim, I'm so glad you started with bewilderment. I feel like Bloodbeat breaks your brain a little bit, whether you want it to or not. I watched it thinking, okay, let's find some sense in this nonsense. But it's almost like the logic keeps wiggling out of your hands every time you try. So for anyone listening who's still like, wait, what is this movie? It's basically a rural Wisconsin holiday, psychic painting, hunting excursion, with a telekinetic girlfriend, and, for reasons not even the director fully explains, a ghost samurai that appears, anytime our protagonist Sarah gets, let's say, amorous or aroused. That's not even half of it.
Well, you beat the samurai. Unfortunately, your family's dead. And worst of all, you never finished that game of Monopoly you started earlier. So that's Bloodbeat. And oh boy, was it something.
I'm going to tell them that I'm going to marry their mother.
Oh, no.
Good friend of mine, Sarah.
Where's Mom? You're welcome. Here.
Still some old stuff from an old friend of mine.
Well, I feel like she knows everything that goes on inside of my head. I feel she's in the room right now. In the room with us.
Oh, come on, Sarah. She's downstairs in her studio.
I can't decide if it's genius or just cinematic whiplash. I've seen odd French experimental films, and I've seen 80s American slashers, but Bloodbeat is like the aftermath if you put both in a blender and the lid just burst off. There's something deeply hypnotic about it, though. The whole film is saturated in this strange, trance-like energy. Dream logic if dreams were scored by an out-of-tune synthesizer and haunted by a samurai on holiday in the Midwest.
Don't you just hate it when you bring your new romantic partner home for the holidays? And all they keep doing is summoning the ghost of a homicidal samurai. Every time they orgasm. Bloodbeat is a heavy philosophical piece about the power of love to overcome anything. Even samurai armor that takes the form of a college student to kill people in a Wisconsin forest.
The dialogue doesn't match, people are half mumbled under the soundtrack, And that's before you ever try to follow the actual story.
Okay, so let's walk through the bonkers plot, but gently, so our listeners don't just fall off a logic cliff. Sarah, wide-eyed, very obviously uncomfortable, shows up at her boyfriend Ted's family home in rural Wisconsin. Kathy, Ted's mom, is an artist who dresses in, let's just say, a lot of indigenous-coded clothing and gives off some psychic energy. There's a very funky family vibe. A maybe prospective stepdad named Gary, a hunting-obsessed uncle, a sister, and a lot of awkward silences. Immediately, there's this weird connection between Sarah and Kathy, as if Kathy's been waiting for Sarah specifically. She even thinks she's seen her before in visions.
Yeah, and right out of the gate, the hunting trip is a disaster. Sarah can't stomach the idea of shooting a deer and freaks out, basically. She runs off, nearly gets trampled, and then, finds herself in the woods with a random dying man clutching her for dear life.
Jim, you really put this on your list of favourite movies. You recorded an episode of 50 favourite movies with Bill Ackerman a while back and included Bloodbeat. Are you okay? Do you need help?
Two things. Firstly, there's a lot of weird stuff just dropped in that we haven't included because I don't know what to say about it.
I think so.
Secondly, I have no idea what's going on. Good reason why I don't know what's going on.
Mama, you don't mean...
What doesn't she mean?
Mama.
What?
Mama, you don't mean...
What?
Mama's right.
About what?
Mama's right.
About what?
Very normal Christmas stuff. The whole family just kind of shrugs and soldier on, but something's not right. Kathy literally feels Sarah's psychic energy from across the room and starts painting wild, frantic things as if she's a human lightning rod for weirdness.
Even the title of the movie doesn't make any sense. Bloodbeat? What's that got to do with a ghost samurai? Well, the director himself said it's a reference to your heart beating when you're high on drugs. Now it's all coming together. I'm sure copious amount of drugs were consumed while making this movie. Maybe if you watch it high, it would all make sense. I kind of feel bad because even the creator of the film admits he's not a director and was hoping everyone would just improvise. I mean, at least he tried, and he came up with something completely original. It does take a while for the samurai to show up, and the lead up to it can get boring, but I'll admit the music helps, and the cinematography's not bad. There's some shots that are pretty cool. Bloodbeat is like staring into a fire. It's mesmerizing and you can't look away. Inevitably, you'll watch it until the end and think, what did I just waste my time watching? And then in a couple years, you'll think about it and once again sit down to watch it. It has that alluring effect on the viewer.
It's your paints and your brushes and your damn visions. Well, I'm fed up with it. That's right, even the good old boys get fed up.
Give me a cup of tea.
Chris, what's the matter? Chris. Please, no! No! What the hell was that? I don't know.
And that's before we even crack open the trunk, right? The trunk. The trunk. The trunk. The trunk. Sarah finds a suit of samurai armor basically just chilling in storage, which, for some reason, doesn't weird anyone out enough. Then you start getting people dying all over, throats slashed, people impaled, neighbors getting samurai'd through their own walls, and, meanwhile, Sarah's levitating in bed, moaning and, having her own, experiences. The link between sex and death is just crazy literal here, you guys. She gets off, and someone in town bites it. It's nuts. Pure nuts.
It's wild.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
If you feel like you're watching someone else's hallucinatory dream, it's because you basically are.
There's something I gotta point out because I'm a sucker for symbolism even when it slaps you with a sword. Beneath all this, Bloodbeat is doing a thing that's genuinely rare, especially for a low-budget horror. It's mixing up the usual slasher logic with this weird cocktail of repressed sexuality, like the samurai's sword and Sarah's sexual energy are literally intertwined. Every time she's aroused, the killings start. It's Freudian, sure, but there's also this very pointed, if messy, commentary about how American culture, especially in the Midwest, handles women and sex. It's like the movie is terrified of female desire, so it punishes it with mystical violence.
And I just want to stack one more thing on that symbolic mess. Colonialism. I mean, setting it in Wisconsin, the state with like a dozen indigenous tribes, having a white family hoard Asian artifacts, the mom in appropriated clothes, and then unleashing a revengeful other into their Christmas celebration? Oof, it's clunky, but sometimes subversive. There's that amazing bit where a Quaker Oats tin gets flung at a white relative during a poltergeist scene. Like, the samurai is using a literal symbol of colonial white America as a weapon. This movie is more woke than it knows. Or less. Depends how much credit you want to give. It's not just about the kills or the scares. It's the commitment to dream logic. I mean, the way the plot unfurls is like you're half remembering a nightmare you had after mixing wine and cheese and then accidentally falling asleep in front of a Christmas tree. Sarah, this kind of withdrawn but psychic new girlfriend, comes with Ted to the most Wisconsin-y farmhouse. Kathy's the intense artist mom who senses psychic stuff instantly. But then you've got people going on a deer hunt, kitchenware pelting people, and a ghost samurai that's... You know what? I still kind of refuse to summarize what that ghost is doing or why. Because how do you even start?
It's your paints and your brushes and your damn visions. Well, I'm fed up with it. That's right, even the good old boys get fed up.
Holidays running you ragged? With complimentary Ford pickup and delivery,
Hello, Santa? Here to pick up your Bronco?
we can pick up your car, service it,
Hey, buddy.
and bring it right back.
Thank you.
So you can get some well-deserved rest.
And we'll beat your best price on a set of 4 tires. Plus, get a $150 rebate. Hurry, offer ends January 5th. See your local Ford dealer today.
Dolly, I didn't tell you could come in here. And I know what you're here for.
No, Mom, not this time. You made a mistake. No, stop it, stop it. Don't come into my mind.
I laugh, but also cringe a bit. The exploitation, the mishmash of cultures, it's not subtle. But I will say, for all the awkwardness, Bloodbeat is kind of fearless in the way it leans into those tropes. You get Christian overtones. Sarah symbolizes the dangerous woman's sexuality. And the movie can't help but link all that to supernatural destruction. And let's not forget the ending. After all this psychic battle stuff, the score suddenly turns hymn-like, as if to sign off that Christianity prevailed and all is pure again. It's both on the nose and totally baffling, which sums up this film.
Also, like, can we talk about that final showdown? Ted and his sister basically blast Sarah/Samurai with sibling aura, whatever that means, and win the psychic war. The mom gets stabbed, people get thrown around, there's pyrokinesis, and half the family walks away in shock or maybe just super confused. So, if you think that all builds to some neat philosophical point, you're in the wrong movie.
I want to gush about Vinegar Syndrome's restoration here. Because, and I'm not exaggerating, it's basically a Christmas gift for cult cinema nerds. They pulled this battered old printout from under who knows what, scanned it in 4K. Yes, really. And mostly it just looks shockingly rich, like on psychic blue glows and murky shadows. Okay, the credit sequence dives back to VHS quality, which is honestly just the cherry on top. The audio? Not quite as special. There's mold, there's damage, there's subtitles that describe mystical boinging and eerie whooshing. No joke, but honestly, it's just a true WTF experience.
There are moments when the muffled dialogue almost becomes Dadaist poetry, especially when someone mutters, "You're very bright, very full of visions."
Oh, I know that you're very bright, and you're very talented, and you're very full of visions.
Gotta say, the kitchen poltergeist scene, cheesy optical effects, flying utensils, melted phones, it all feels like something out of Poltergeist's thrift store cousin. Or it also reminded me of another one of your favorites, Jim, The Gate.
In a time before the earth, before the sun, before the light of the stars, when all was chaos and evil, the forgotten gods ruled the darkness. But what was theirs now belongs to the world of light and substance. Mankind. There is a passageway between our physical world of light and pleasure and their spiritual world of madness and pain. A gate behind which the demons wait for the chance to take back what was once theirs. The Gate.
I have some people who love the film, some people who hate the film, of course, and it's so weird, and this film is so weird. Let's say it's weird. It's a weird film. The way it's done, I know the sound is very bad, but the film is so weird, the story is so weird, people doesn't understand everything, and I have some people that love it, really. I received mail, some email, or contact me on Facebook, and are you Fabrice? So I have a little, people that over the last 40 years that sent me some letters and some mail about it, and some that hate it, of course. Afterwards, I came back to France, and I went, as I was, I would say, I have a master's in, I have an MBA in marketing, and at that time, 1983, I was in the French group that edit software for a new little machine called the Macintosh. It was the launch of the Macintosh and the IBM PC. So I was in the group that we call here today, we are the pioneers of the microcomputer in France, 1983 to 1988. So I was in this business until I become to be interested in creating workspace. Maybe you went on my site.
What's the matter? There's nothing over there.
There's real organic texture to it, which you just don't get in sleek, modern, CGI-laden horror. Everything's a little clumsy, rough around the edges, but that just kind of amps up the dream state weirdness. I love high res, but sometimes poor image aesthetics, like Hito Steyerl would say, give you that fringe cult authenticity. And you know what? At the core of it all are these big, gnarly themes. Sexual repression, women's power, Christianity, and colonialism, all stewing under the surface. I actually teach a module on art films and repression, and even I was like, wait, let's talk about this samurai repressed female sexuality thing for like 4 consecutive classes. Plus, the way Wisconsin's history of colonization echoes in those artifacts and the whole rural setting, it feels accidental, but still heavy. That's the thing, Jesse. It's almost like the film doesn't know what it's doing, but the symbolism piles up anyway. And that's true of some of my favorite outsider art. You can't always separate the wild improvisation from the insider commentary. Like, yes, the sword is a phallic symbol. Yes, the Quaker Oats can has some weird anti-colonial resonance. And yes, sexuality is punished over and over. But it never feels preachy or processed. It's just raw, a bit abrasive, a dash absurd, and, well, a totally singular viewing experience.
And Zafiratos basically threw actors in, some of them non-actors, literally just whoever was around in Wisconsin, and hoped for magic. It's no masterpiece, but I kinda love that you can see the seams. There's a personality to the messiness. It's the kind of thing you only get from truly low-budget local horror, you know?
Let's zoom out a second. Even with all its off-the-wall stuff, Bloodbeat still kind of honors the slasher tradition. Carol Clover wrote, back in 92, that slashers are basically folktales, a bunch of fixed tale types spun in new ways. Bloodbeat is definitely a slasher. Killer picks off people, there's a final girl, and moral structure, pretty much. But this film just crams in so much oddball artiness, so much unfiltered energy, that it becomes its own monster. It doesn't try to transcend the genre. It doubles down on every cliche in the wildest way and ends up a true cult curiosity. So bad it's good, but also maybe kind of weirdly profound.
Yeah, and I'd say what makes it kind of perfect for cult status is that it's uninterested in elevating itself. Some people talk about prestige horror, where movies try to prove horror can be deep or classy. Bloodbeat doesn't care at all about that. It's just throwing spaghetti at the walls, and once in a while you get a flash of art. The rest is just vibes. In a way, it totally embodies what the slasher is at its purest. Gory, bizarre, and more about making you feel, what the hell is happening, than actually scaring you.
I mean, you know I'm here for that. The more it resists the urge to be important or prestige, the more fun I have. It doesn't matter if the samurai even makes sense in Wisconsin. That's why it's a great midnight movie and a total party flick for horror lovers who think they've seen it all. You haven't, if you haven't seen Bloodbeat.
Couldn't have said it better, Jacob. And for anyone out there, if you want to see a film that's got the traditional slasher bones, with all the guts swapped for Dayglow psychic confusion, this is it. Not for everyone, but if it's for you, it's really for you. All right, folks. I think we've talked ourselves into a psychic stupor on this one. Bloodbeat, a film that makes almost no sense, yet somehow everything about that feels weirdly right. You get sex, death, holidays, psychic showdowns, and a samurai spirit on a Midwest rampage. Pretty unforgettable, honestly. Thanks for going through the madness with us.
This was so much fun, you guys. Does Bloodbeat achieve accidental brilliance? Or is it just so uniquely awful that it comes back around to entertaining? Maybe both. Either way, watch it with friends and tell us your weirdest theory.
Whether you love oddball horrors or just want to see the strangest holiday movie ever made, Bloodbeat is now streaming in glorious 4K and glorious confusion. See you next time for more cinematic rabbit holes.
And you're very full of visions. But I'm not him.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to this special bonus episode on Bloodbeat. Yes, JimLaskowski.net is where you can find older episodes of Directors Club, as well as all my writing and all my fun stuff. Music, movies, podcasts, film stuff. Ooh, writing, yay! So go there, and stay tuned for a lot to come in 2026. Happy New Year, all, and thank you for sticking through this bizarre entity that is the bonus episode on Bloodbeat. Take care. Okay. Goodbye.